you guys, before we started, I was like, okay,
Yeah.
why do I actually want us to do this? And then
Yeah.
I was like, because I wanted to go on YouTube and Anna's channel, and I was like, no, maybe 50%, but most of it was because we don't know who's out there who can really learn. I was just thinking this panel is filled with wisdom, so much wisdom, and even if it won't be based on the questions that we'll be discussing, but calculate and see that something will be said that will really encourage somebody. So yeah, I just wanted all of you guys to know that that's why you're here. I really want someone to learn from what is within you. Anyway, so my question to all of you is it always the man's duty to approach and pursue the woman? What is your view on that?
I believe that when a woman does too much, it's kind of like a turn off. I would say that yes, the man does have a responsibility to approach the woman at first, but it's also for us as women to, when that man does end up approaching, for us to kind of be open, to show that we're interested, and to be open to whatever relationship that we can build. Because I know sometimes, sometimes as women we tend to, the man does chase, right? The man chases us, he hunts us down, we are there being hunted, and then next thing you know, are they playing super hard to get, which is a good thing, but at some point it kind of also makes the guy lose interest. And just by giving a few hints, to say, hey, I actually like you back, is not a bad thing. Just to encourage the guy to keep on pursuing the woman or the lady. That's my perspective. Yeah.
So you are asking if it's wrong for a woman to approach a guy?
Yeah, you can look at it that way.
Okay. To be honest, I wouldn't say necessarily it's wrong. I would just say what transpires after that can be, yeah, you can go off road what happens after. Because a lot of times when a woman approaches a guy, it will leave the woman or the girl in a very kind of like a vulnerable state, or most of them feel so, I think. But for guys, it sort of gives you like a lot of power, or so we think. It like gives you this power to kind of like a big hit, so to say. But I don't think necessarily it's wrong, so to say. I wouldn't say it's wrong. I would just say the way you do it must be, how do I say it? It must be, it must be careful. Just do it cautiously, so to say. Yeah, cautiously. I don't think I have much to add on that. I'd like to actually hear other people's answers. So yeah.
I know a right and a wrong. I think people's stories play out differently all the time, okay? But I think that there's still an underlying principle when God lays into place. God puts the man as the head of the house, he makes him the leader. So I don't think, like, if the woman is making the first move or whatever the case is, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but it becomes problematic when that is something that is always happening. Because if you're always initiating things, if you're always, I don't know how else to say it, but if you are the one as a woman always initiating things, that could mean that forever, you could be the only one doing things all the time. I don't think that's right, but in the long term. But here and there, I don't know. I don't know. I think that's my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, but to say that it is wrong to happen in one case, I don't think it's wrong.
My thing is, let me just read the question. Yes or no?
My,
You know, I lean more towards no. Um, because now I'm thinking of what would happen if you, as the girl, you most probably like the guy, but the guy doesn't know that. So how would you shoot your shot? Would via telepathy, or would you just let it go? You get me? But anyway, the reason why I'm saying the men shouldn't do it, um, because number one, I think the reason why a lot of girls don't do it is because of society's definition of what we say when a woman approaches a man. Um, a lot of times, when a lady approaches a man, she'll be perceived as loose or perceived action. So I think society would expect men to go and make the first approach. On top of that, it also boosts, your ego, boosts your status amongst your friends, but not really. And then also, we are told, ladies are told to go, in other aspects of their life. Women, at least they are told to go for what it is they want, go for that job, go for that business. You should pursue it relentlessly. But when it comes to that man, and I'm not saying you should be wretched to the point, or come off too strongly, but also in that aspect of trying to pursue something that you are interested in. I think that it's important for anyone really to pursue it. Like when I look at my situation, they didn't particularly wasn't interested in me at first. You understand? But however, through my perseverance,
Hallelujah.
you understand? So I think that's the same thing that can also be applied to any woman who's interested in any man. Yes, of course, you don't have to come off too strongly. I also didn't come off too strongly, but just make the first move, if you're interested. And yeah, whatever happens, happens really. So go get your man, girl. Yes.
What?
Thank you, Kelsey.
basically, I feel like when it comes to shooting your shot, it should be both ways. It's just like a basketball game. One person scores and the other person scores. Like, it goes both ways. But the trick to this is like the way you shoot your shot is like cologne. If you apply too much cologne, it's going to make people feel I need to step off a little bit. Too much cologne is also a bad thing. So it needs to be from like a female's point of view. Like if you need to shoot your shot and to actually make this guy know like there's a possibility on that, and you need to like make it subtle so that society doesn't think that she is loose or is just trying to thirsty as people for it to be nowadays. So it needs to be subtle like things like actually making this guy know that maybe even if it's a small possibility that he can sort of approach you. What most girls do is that they always expect the guy to initiate first. But some of us, we're not going to shoot our shot. And at the end of the day, it needs to be sort of both-sided thing. Like,
Vivian, if you have questions, write them down.
Who was it? Rapunzel that let down her hair?
It was her.
It was her. How else was she able to climb if she didn't let down her hair?
Guys, but as Christians, like as Christians though, like, yeah, should
you can ask him maybe to like stay for second service or so that you guys But I don't see anything wrong with, hey, here's my number. Can we maybe go out on a date like this? I don't see anything wrong with this.
Okay.
So I think my opinion might be a bit traditional in comparison to the rest, because I've always believed that the man is the one who should do the pursuing. Also just based on experience where guys would tell me like, yo, like we do the chasing. It's not cute when a woman is doing the chasing, because then they feel like they are they are the prize, but generally women are the prize. And I think if we also look at the Bible as a framework, I haven't seen a relationship in the Bible where a woman is the one who went to the man. And in the relationship context, the example that we always look at is like Ruth and Boaz. And like Boaz saw Ruth while she was in the field. So as women, I feel like our role is to be available, like where you're supposed to be for the man to meet you and pursue you. And in a practical context, how we can do that is like subtle things. Like you don't go to the man and be like, hey, I want us to be in a relationship. Like that's coming off too strong, like everybody else has been saying. So I think subtle things like, hey, you laugh extra at his jokes, or you just show that you're reciprocating when he does put in enough effort, like slight touch on the arm or something like that. I feel like it should be subtle things that show that you are available and you are interested, but it's not your job to go and be like, hey, like I feel like we should go on a date and I feel like we should have a relationship. So yeah, that's what I think.
Okay. Okay, I agree with Hazel. I'll also go on it like the traditional way. I personally wouldn't shoot the shot. I think, guys, it also comes with how we take rejection. Because I mean, there could be an aspect of rejection. Well, I feel like, okay, and I stand to be corrected, guys take rejection from a girl better than we would take rejection from a guy. Like, I'll touch my shot, and then he's just like, nah. So out of fear of that, I probably wouldn't. And like I said, I agree more with Hazel. So I would, I believe the guy should shoot the shot, not the other way around. Of course, you need, as the lady, you can position yourself in such a way that you make it easier for him to shoot his shot if he's interested, but not overdoing it. And I personally wouldn't do it myself either. I'll just position myself. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Remember, if you have any questions come up during anyone's opinion, remember to note them down so we can discuss them at the end.
Okay. My opinion is, I agree with Betty and Hazel on, okay, definitely for me, I believe that a man should pursue the woman that they're interested in. I think it also just puts things into place, like from the start of the relationship, when the man is already like in front and doing the pursuing. So I definitely believe that the man should pursue the woman that they are interested in. But I also think that it's not wrong for a woman to send signals to the guy if they are interested in the guy. But then, like Betty said, you should be aware or know yourself and what you can handle. If you cannot handle rejection, then I would advise you not to do that, because sometimes the guy is just not interested in you. But then if you know who you are and you are confident in yourself, and you know that if the man wants, if I like someone and he doesn't like me, okay, it's fine, maybe he's not the one for me. Then you can go out, and then when you see that guy that you like, you can look him in the eyes, you can touch him, just like Hazel said, or you can just laugh at his jokes, just to show signs that you're interested, but knowing that you are settled in your image of who you are. You're not like very fragile. That's why I think it's a maturity thing. If you've gone through life, or now you are ready for relationship and you know who you are, you can do that and position yourself and do what you should do. So that because most girls, they like holding back and just like hiding from the guy. So it also makes it difficult for them to be found. So you show yourself the right ways, as subtle as possible. But then the guy should definitely do the pursuing if they're interested. Yeah.
Hi. Yeah, I do agree with most of you. In as much as you have to be on the receiving side, or basically just wait for any move that comes from the people or the guys, you also have to kind of play a proactive role in terms of if you find someone attractive, if you find someone that feels kind of to be ticking your boxes, I feel like you have to play a proactive role. How you do that, I'm not really sure, but I feel the word that Beata used, positioning, I think that might play a role as well, where you kind of have to create the opportunities where you get to interact more with this person, where you get to know more about this person, and things like that. But I'm not exactly sure how. But I think that's my 2 cents.
Okay, my thing is that I think that the guy should be the one doing the pursuing and everything. I personally, like Betty said, I also wouldn't, shoot my shot. But at the same time, I also ask, like, the points that you guys made about the female shooting a shoot in a subtle way. How subtle can you be, and how long must you keep sending laughing emojis until something happens? She just, I mean, you can only send laughing emojis for so long. If the guy is not getting the hint, should you move on and be like, my guy, this is the situation, or should you just die inside? Yeah.
Okay, we can actually note that down as a question to discuss at the end. So, how subtle should you be, and when should you start shooting your shot? When the guy is not getting the hints, we can maybe whoever wants to contribute to that question at the end, you can. But we're noting it down for the end.
Okay, so my viewpoint is also similar to the ladies. When it comes to pursue, like when it comes to really approaching someone or pursuing someone, I really think it's a guy thing. And just as like a man is a provider, I also feel like they also have the grace to approach women. Like they are equipped to do that, and they have more patience, and yeah, they have what it takes to approach a woman. Well, I also don't think it's wrong for a woman to also maybe approach. I don't really think it's necessarily wrong. So I'm like, if you are able to, or if you feel up to the task, I think you can do it as a woman. But personally, it's not something I would do. Yeah, because like I said,
Okay, though Paro, we can't hear you so nicely.
Great. Yeah.
Okay. All right, thank you. We missed a bit of what you said, but you can just contribute to the questions at the end. We will address those at the end. Okay, that concludes my part. Anna, you can proceed.